Oh, right, here we go, final level. Oh, now it said that I couldn't... Oh, I've got some more stuff. I've got Maker. I wonder what a Maker is. Oh, a Maker skin for the Super Shotgun. Oh, that's neat. Didn't know there were weapon skins. Do I have any others? Oh. Okay, what was that? So the combat shotgun now has a different skin. Looks pretty cool. Nothing else there. Oh, what's this? A different gateway. Brilliant. Okay, now, it said I'm only allowed to go to the level, but can I... Yeah, so I could go back into the mission select, I think. Yeah. Okay, well let's... let's not do that. Hi Chaplain, hi Maverick. Right, I've got to actually hurry, so I've got to get this finished tonight, right? Oh, that's a really... That's a great skin. I mean, it's very only subtly different, right? But like, kind of worn grey metal. That one, not so good. Right, what are we trying to do? I can't remember. I think I'll probably try not to be... Oh, it's difficult to get out here. Oh, I mean that seemed quite effective. So I needed, yeah, I pushed this block out and then I need to jump somewhere. Ah, up to there probably. Yeah, alright. Yeah, I've not played much Destiny. I met the guy who
The Godmaker needs Earth and its souls. Her world is dying. The culling allows her people to replenish their resources and survive. As you save your world, you put hers in peril.
Wait, I missed that. Why does she need energy?
Up ahead is Kalabaz, the sightless judge. It determines who's fit to begin the soul extraction process. The rest will be discarded to the blood swamps.
I mean, that just seems mean. Why don't they just send them back or let them die or whatever? Oh, it's a cool brain. I can't move. I can't move to get there. Look at it. Ah, I hate that. I'm in a cage. You don't need to make me not be able to move. Ah, oh, hello. Oh, he's got a punchable bit on himself, on his face. Alright, what's going on here then? Is this a boss? Oh, I need this gun. Oh, are they rising up and down? They're not falling into the thing. Oh yeah, they are. Perhaps they are. Oh. Wow. Nuts. Ow! That would have been an amazingly stylish kill if I'd managed to weapon switch in time.
The shield is lowered. Now, while it's exposed.
Entirely sure why that was necessary, but fair enough. It was a big brain monster. There's an interesting thing about the imagery there, right? Like, the demons in Doom are very traditional Judeo-Christian evil with some techno mixed in. But this is very much, I mean, not actual Lovecraft, but what we would call normally Lovecraftian sort of style and monster. With brain and tentacles and things. I think the aesthetics do clash a little bit. I'm not sure that they... I think this game would, honestly, I think would be better off with a little bit more, what's that? I think the techno and the Judeo-Christian hell are enough. I don't think it also needs tentacles and brains and things. Personally. Otherwise it ends up, because it's also got what, medieval knights, and it's also got techno angels, and it's just kind of hodgepodge of different visual styles. That there must be some sort of achievement I can get with these guys. Come on, got here. Oh, what am I getting here? To kill 2 demons with the Crucible. Okay, kill 8 demons using Crusher traps. Perform a left side glory kill on a Doom Hunter. That's really specific. What the hell does that mean? Left side glory kill. Oh, I've almost got that one now. Okay, I've got to crush them with the Crusher trap, I guess. Oh, you guys also want to come in my Crusher trap? I think you do. I think you very much all want to come in my Crusher trap. Come on, guys. There we go. Oh, me. Come on, friends. Oh. Hey, Pinky. Oh, no! Too fast. Oh, there's another Crusher trap. Having spent all my time complaining about the lore, it actually really does appeal to me, the idea that all of the Doom games take place in the same continuity through some sort of weird, weird way of adding them all up. I think it's great. In theory. punch the map. That definitely helps. Looks like there's a door. I mean, this just doesn't seem like an efficient way of storing them, honestly. Just, I don't know, maybe... It's interesting thinking about it from a story perspective that, like, this architecture does nothing from me from a general perspective, but the fact that the guy said, like, oh yeah, they're being kept here for a specific purpose because, you know, they need them to blah blah blah, I actually do find quite effective. Like, then it makes it seem real as opposed to just gibberish. Where am I trying to get? I'm trying to get over there, but then it looks like there's also a way to go here. Oh. Oh, point. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Grenades are really effective when you remember to use them. My pro tip for the day. Oh, that's an archvile. Ah, no, hang on. Please have a look at this problem. Yeah, possibly I should have saved that. Did I kill him? No. Ah, Jesus. How am I not dead? Come on. Oh, cool, Bennett. How many extra lives have I got? What's the archvile got? Ah. I mean, this doesn't seem there's much point really even fighting them if I don't kill the boss. Yeah, that was just FFF right there. Ugh. I mean, that very much looked like it was the way onwards, didn't it? It's a bit confusing because I want to go this way. Maybe I should fight my way up into that room up there. Maybe that's a slightly safer place to be. No! Ah, crush it. That'll help. Still looks kind of dangerous. This is a more fun run though. I was running an awkward corridor with a death pit at one end of it. Where's the archfire? There it is. Okay, so it gave me some BFG ammo there, so it really wanted me to use it. It's interesting thinking about how it's supposed to be balanced. Like, it feels kind of like cheating to use a smart bomb. But then, like, you know, no BFG kind of feels like a challenge playthrough, so... If every time I see an archvile I just kill it with the BFG, that kind of feels like cheating, even though it's my... a tool that I have to deal with that problem, because, I don't know, it's a strange situation. Oh. Is there a secret up there as well? No, it's that one down there. Right, so it looks like that one. Looks like there's a lift here, which presumably goes down from there. So I don't actually know what the point of coming here was. There doesn't seem to be anything here that I need. That didn't have anything behind it, did it? Just more death pits. Yeah, the ammo pickups feel really spurious because it's just like the correct thing to do is just chainsaw the first thing you meet in each combat, and then that gives you like half. I think it seemed to be something like half ammo for every weapon. I think that's roughly what it is, or maybe it's half starting ammo with every weapon because I've upgraded my ammo capacity. Right, where are we going? Oh, there's a hole down there that I didn't get to. Right, yeah, there we go. Oh, hello. And they don't seem to be alive, do they? He's grim. Fair play. Actually, I was thinking about the interplay of art and narrative in that regard. Thinking about like grim art. That if you get like, you know, like you get a picture of a man crying, that can be moving. But if you get a picture of a man crying and you give it a heart-tugging label, like you know, this is the way just basically all Reddit pictures work, right? Like his daughter just died of cancer or something like that, right? Like, I know Reddit. The interesting thing about Reddit is that it may or may not be true. It's got, you know, people just give random titles to the pictures to try to make them more upvotable. Oh, that was a weird one. Fair enough. And the interesting thing, of course, is that it's the interplay of the two that's particularly effective. The writing by itself. I mean, you can, I'm not saying you can't. People can write amazingly moving things in 2 sentences, but you can write, a good picture combined with a good title for that picture can be really, really powerful. And I think a lot of this kind of stuff does tend towards the imagery over the meaning. And that can mean it's not as affecting as it could otherwise be. So is there... Right. So we're trying to go down there. Is there any reason we couldn't have done it from there? I don't think so. Maybe we weren't high enough. Seems to make sense to use those corridor situations to refuel for the bigger fights. What else is on the challenges list? Kill 2 demons with the crucible, I think we're probably going to do anyway. Oh, we're not? Oh, because we died, it's not freaking tracking anything. Is it? No, for some reason it untracks these, it's really annoying. Okay, the lock-on burst thing is quite tricky to do. Thank you.
Humans must be. The flesh tender. Once enough pain has been inflicted and the spirit broken, the soul is ready for the extraction process.
What green means. Yeah, I hate that kind of level design. I'll give it a pass in this kind of game. Like Theo just asked, what's the point of that? Yeah, it really bothers me when they don't try to come up with an excuse for it. But I mean, it very much is that kind of game, right? Like, it's not. Well, but then that's the thing, right? It's got all this dialogue to try to get me to take the world seriously, and then it's got this. Oh, do you think we can go up here? Yeah, there's bound to be a secret along here, right? Nope. So yeah, it is trying to get me to take its world seriously, I suppose, and then it's got this. What is this for? I got my dad to play Half-Life 1 years ago. And at the start of Half-Life 1 you go into the test chamber. Like it's going for a kind of grounded, realistic feel, which is kind of funny. And at the start you walk into this giant, like, reactor device of some sort. And my dad said he works in, or he used to work before he retired in, like, funding particle physics, machinery, devices. And he said if we funded something like this, we'd get cut immediately. No one would ever give us any money if this is the kind of thing we make. Oh, ah. Come on, motherfucker. Oh, that's a red thank you. Are they red because there's a totem? Or are they red because there's an arch? I think the way that we can tell it's an arch file is because they had like a weird summon position, like where they were standing there all orange. And I don't think that's happened. Is that it over there? Yeah, there it is. Right. We want some. Yeah, it's nice if the level design has at least a semblance of sort of coherent meaning in what it is it's trying to accomplish or do. which this game's very much not. And you know, and there's a compromise there, right? Because obviously the levels still have to work as combat arenas or as navigational challenges or whatever it is that the game is trying to do. And if you've ever tried to sit and lay out like an office building level or something like that, you find that, you know, realistic isn't very interesting usually, because real life buildings are generally laid out to be like easy to navigate rather than impossible to navigate. Alright, how do I get up there then? Presumably I jump to that and then from there to over there. So where do I go from elsewhere in the room? Ah, up on that thing. Hey buddy. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, so, I mean, now, again, that's where the compromise comes in, right? Because if you're making a realistic environment, you find ways to... Okay, how do we get through there, then? I guess back the other way? You know, you block off some of the stairs, or you have some of the corridors be... that one was locked as well. So how do we get in there? Right, yeah, that's... Oh, did I just never come up here? That's weird. Or maybe it opened after I went through. Right, another one of these. Let's get... BFG. Oh, no, that's not the weapon I meant to use. Oh. Great. Oh, is it that way the auto switch works? Does it auto switch back to the previous weapon when it runs out like that? That would explain a lot. Because I've never had it auto switch to a BFG before. Oh well. It's experimentation for you, isn't it? Right. There's another door over there. Oh, that's opened half of that for some reason. Something we did has opened half of that. No idea what. I love not knowing why what I've accomplished helped. Oh, fuck. There we go. Oh, I don't have any chains. I don't have any shotgun shells. That could be a problem. Oh, do you see that? That is how you deal with those. Masterclass now. Presumably going up here unlocks the other... Oh, it was right. It was the button that opened the gate. That makes sense. But then we do need to go get the secret down here. Ah, right. So that gave us 1 ammo for the sword. That's interesting. So it considers that to be like a precious secret. So leaving that tutorial sword section without a lot of sword ammo, I think was a big mistake, because it wanted me to like tire the sword out, but I could have easily saved up 3 shots of it there, and it otherwise considers them very precious. I wonder if when you start a level it always resets you to 0. or whether you can carry them from level 2. Because usually it fills your ammo up between when you go back to the ship, but it didn't fill my sword up. But I don't know whether it emptied it. It's not the gun I meant to use. BFG ammo. That looks like death, maybe? What's that? Cyberman. Oh, this is a big room, isn't it? No. Oh, my mouse has stopped working. Oh no, that's not good. What are you doing, mouse? I keep getting little bits of grime on the table, which I think interrupt how it works. I haven't used a mouse mat for that way. I use a mouse mat at work. Use a RuneScape mouse mat. No, I keep... So, I use a G700, and it stopped working almost immediately, and so I just have it plugged in the whole... It has an optional charging wire, and I just have it plugged in the whole time, which is... And I've changed... So it uses rechargeables, and I've changed the rechargeables several times, but it doesn't seem to help. So I think something's wrong with the way it draws power from the batteries is broken, I think. But I've no idea what the problem actually is. Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, the mouse is unusable otherwise. And I'm reluctant to buy a new G700 because this last one hasn't been very good. But I don't really have a good alternative. My favourite mouse is MX1000. I'm still using the original G15 keyboard. Which is a superb keyboard, and all of the other keyboards they made are terrible. No, I can't play an FPS with a controller. That's just... I mean, I don't consider it sacrilegious. It's just really unpleasant. I don't know why anyone would inflict that on themselves. Someone once made a serious argument to me years ago that Halo is a superior game because the controller makes it more difficult to control and was more realistic. Which I think might be the worst argument I've ever heard. Alright, left side, it said. Was that the right side? I think that might have been the right side. Wait, I didn't even get the kill. What? What's a left side? Presumably that means it's left side. Left side glory kill. Well, he seems to be coming in from my left side. Look, in the picture. He's stabbing it through the right side of the demon's head, which suggests it's my left, not his left. Oh, I'm not a fan of Halo. Back when it came out, that was a bit good. I mean, I recognise that Halo was a hugely influential game on the genre, a very important game that deserves credit, but in a lot of ways it was awful. The story was terrible. The Flood were really, really boring. Like, the Flood could have been awesome. It's a cool trope. But They're just like head crabs for shit, right? Right, left side. Was that a left side? That wasn't a dude. That wasn't a. I don't understand. I didn't get a glory kill. No, it's using voiceover to tell me what's going on. Great, brilliant, good. That's good storytelling. I approve of that. It's a really simple story, but it's fine. Why didn't it do that for the whole rest of the game? I don't understand. It's doing it now. It does feel quite inconsistent, this game. Like, the directorial style of the cutscenes has been a bit inconsistent as well. Like, some of them are third person, some of them are first person. Some of them sort of show the character. I wonder if it's just different developers responsible for developing different parts of the game, and not having like strong oversight on the overall style. Which obviously RuneScape is a little bit like. But I'm not for a tight experience like this. Yeah, I mean the thing about playing an FPS or a third-person game or fighting games are hugely better on the controller for the most part. The thing the controller does really, really well is the ability to position the camera and aim your character in any direction. So for a game where you need to move 360 degrees in third person while sort of aiming an attack, either a ranged attack or strike with your sword in any direction, like a standard third-person melee game, a controller is hugely superior. But in a shooting context, the controller's always going to be like, it's so much more difficult to aim. The mouse is incredibly precise for aiming. I mean, so I grew up not really playing controllers at all. Oh, what? That was the end of the level. Didn't do the challenges at all. I didn't even find 2 charges of Crucible. What? That was a weirdly short level. What did I miss? I missed one of the codexes. That doesn't matter. How strange. Well, I mean, but you can train yourself, right? Like, I barely used a controller at all growing up. My first ever controller was the Xbox 360, and then I hardly ever, I've never really been a console player, but I had to learn how to use a controller for Res, which it took me years of practice to get any good at. And it's still, the shape of the PlayStation controller in particular is really upsetting to me. Like, it's just a horrible, awkward thing that gives me hand cramp after using it for a while.
Inside that citadel is the soul extraction chamber.
Why was that a separate level?
Our way through and to the top, where the pure Argent energy is exported directly to Urdak.
Oh, that's the wrong button. It's interesting that enemies are resources, but the resource model isn't too harsh, which is good. I talked about Blood Rain before. Blood Rain 2 has a really interesting model. This is probably a mistake. Oh. In Blood Rain 2, enemies are resources, and the game is incredibly strict. So let me try and remember how it works. You can refuel your guns from enemies. You can, by jamming your guns drink blood, so you just jam them into the enemy and suck blood out of them to get ammo back. You can heal from enemies, and I think if you don't do either of those things, then any damage dealt to an enemy counts as XP, basically. So, and then the number of enemies in the game is strictly limited. So, like, enemies are resources in an incredibly literal and incredibly strict way, which is intriguing. This looks horrible. This looks like a horrible experience. What am I doing here? Oh god, I'm trying to go around there. Ah! What? Did I miss all the secrets in the world there? No, it doesn't look like it. Oh yeah, so I kept my sword charge, and I got another one? I have 2 sword charges now. Yeah, Blood Rain 2 is pretty cool. It's nowhere near as good as the first one. The first one was really sort of iconic. Like, I don't know, I was talking about it last time. It's kind of underappreciated because of how bad the first level was. Like, genuinely awful. But yeah, the rest of the game was really cool. It had, I don't want to say the writing was brilliant, like the plot was really dumb. And it was really, really tropey and exploitative, right? But, oh, my mouse is frozen again. What is going on here? Plug it in, replug it in. I'm trying to describe, like, it had really, like the fights were really dialogue intensive, and in a way that's still not that common. Like your character and the enemies just talked constantly all the time to each other during fights, and it was really compelling. And like, I mean, they weren't saying anything interesting. That's the thing, right? They were just like, "You're a shithead, no, you're a shithead, ha ha ha," and making misogynistic jokes and stuff at each other, which is kind of lame. But the fact that there was so much writing, and the writing was pretty strong, like, you know, for what it was really compelling. Useful pickups are found in the world. Thanks. Ah, this is what I actually want. Right. There should be one more of these in the game, because I don't think I've missed any. Do I want more armor or more health? I think I want more health, because I'm not actually full of armor very much anymore. But yeah, and the game was about Nazis. Like, so it did a really cool thing that I've never seen another game do so well since. So when you start on the level, it gives you like this hit list of all the photos. Like, it's just one image, and it just of all the pictures of the Nazis you have to assassinate.
Processed souls for the Khan Maker's world. I assure you, this could have been avoided with different leadership.
Oh! Ah, what? What? Sorry, my door got up, just got it. That's slightly distracting, that. That's definitely the most stylish way to kill those, right? Oh no, I just wasted a... Oh. We get another chance at... Oh no, that glory kill was from the previous level. Ah. Well, that wasn't a left side glory kill, but it was at least a glory kill. Perform a back glory kill on a tyrant. I don't actually know what a tyrant is. I guess they're those guys with like a rocket launcher on their arm? No, like a sort of multi-laser thing. Perform a left side glory kill on an archvile. Kill more than one enemy with a single blood punch 5 times. Easy peasy, maybe. Okay, blood punch. Here we go. Was that a blood punch? Yeah, it was. Oh, that achievement's called Punched by Blood. I like that. Sorry. So yeah, you start with this hit list of Nazis. It's like a load of photos pinned to a board, just an image of that. And then when you kill one, like it stamps it with blood, and then they're dead, right? And it's just really simple and effective. You know, I was saying before about like knowing what your objective is and it communicating to you in a straightforward way. And it's just like your objective is to kill all these Nazi leaders. Off you go. And then you're in the middle of some complicated fight because it's got weird like you run into a barracks and like 30 people run out to try and fight you, and then more of them start streaming in when the fight starts. So the fights get really complicated, kind of like in this game. And then you'll just randomly like backflip and murder someone by chopping their head off, and then the list will pop up, freezes the game, the list pops up, it stamps the Nazi off, and then you carry on with the fight. That's great. That's good. Good computer game action there. What's that? Oh, that's some sort of super fast movement. Seemed to be anything to do with my super fast movement. I never find these boosts until the game's already over. Oh, now where do you think that's going to take me? Back that way or back this way? Probably back up to the main room. Oh, no. Yeah, these, I quite like these little short ones. No, that's a different game, Theo. That's Wolfenstein. What was the original game? The original game was called something else, wasn't it? Like Eagle's Nest or something? Or am I getting confused? Wolfenstein The New Order is excellent. I really enjoyed that. Wolfenstein The New Colossus I didn't enjoy anywhere near as much. I didn't think it was very good. New Order is fascinating. It's got a really weird mixture. Like, it's an incredibly childish game, but at the same time it's an incredibly like mature game. It's really odd. It's the most sort of mature exploitative thing I've ever seen. It has these really powerful scenes. Like you go to a concentration camp, but it's delivered like the concentration camp is being guarded by robots. So it's got that sort of tropey, exploitative sort of feel to it, but they don't fuck around. The concentration camp is horrific.
This is raw, argent energy. The suffering on Earth, the bloodshed, all of it. For this. Once the soul is extracted, the husk of the human body will over time transform into the demons you fight now. The extracted soul that remains will power their world. The essence of hell.
I'm hoping their world is like a kind of utopia. Like a sort of techno-utopia. Yeah, I got the achievement though. I think. totally counts. Yeah, and it does the Man in the High Castle thing. So there's a recent Man in the High Castle TV series. If you've ever read the book The Man in the High Castle, it doesn't really do a very good job of its premise. Has that loaded me before the combat challenge? That would be enough. No, that's good.
This is raw Argent energy. The suffering on Earth.
Usually it saves just after those little intro things. Let me just double check that did actually upgrade. Yeah, it did. Okay, now I've unlocked the ability to something that I don't care about. Let's go for the other one. What does this one do? Full auto something. Never actually used full auto mode. I mean, why would I? Because the super shotgun's really, really good. So I don't really want to use this weapon, but just for the sake of variety, let's do it. Kill 15 pinkies with full auto mod. Yeah, sure. Totally gonna do that. What? Still haven't done the heat blast thing. Yeah, it's quite effective. Can't argue with results. I've lost. I took my hands off WSAD. So I just recently, like most people my age, I default to invert mouse, or I used to, and I just decided to change that. So it took me I think I've the game Control. I played that, and by the end of it, I no longer invert my mouse now. So I would encourage anybody who thinks that they play using a certain style of controls and can't do anything else to just decide that you can and then practice it. Oh, I have some points to spend, don't I? I still don't see any particular need to change these glory kill ones, although I guess maybe the death one might be useful than the faster glory kill one. Nah, it's fine. Alright, what have I got left still to buy? Oh, I'll just go everywhere. Hi, Sep. You've unlocked the QuakeCon mode cheat code. That sounds cool. What do I have left? Those are the mastery skips, which I'm not going to worry about for now. Is that everything? Yeah, I mean, I've got a load more weapon points to spend, but I'm not actually using any of the weapons, so it doesn't matter. I've still never used this Arbalest thing. Oh, I guess I should use this Destroyer Blade, because the problem with the Arbalest is it charges up so incredibly slowly, and this game is really fast-paced. It doesn't really seem... Let's try using a Destroyer Blade instead. Which gun is that? Okay. Is that... Oh no, that's the Arbalest, I think. Oh, that's... Is that the Destroyer Blade, or is that the Arbalest? I don't know which one's which. Hang on, let's have a look. Destroyer Blade is... Okay, Destroyer Blade is the impossible to use one, alright. Okay, so I'm supposed to kill Cacodemons with this mode. Oh, that doesn't look as hard. Okay, let's try that if we get a chance. It's annoying that it keeps resetting me up here.
This is raw Argent.
I forgot I do actually still need to kill those Arachna thingies. Paying attention. Oh, those right. Okay, so we're going to get an archer, alright. Ah, where'd he go? How, why is that? Oh, the shield blocks the rocket launcher. That's alright. Let's run away to try to lure some of these enemies somewhere else. That's a smart plan, right? Yeah, the storytelling is definitely better in this level. Like, he's explaining where the enemies come from and all sorts. If they'd had that sort of voiceover for the entire game, I wouldn't have been complaining about it. Ow, that's... Oh, yeah, it's nice not having to invert and uninvert the controls. It was the children that made me think of it, because like, I don't want to teach them to use inverted, because it's you know, non-inverted has definitely become the dominant way, which it wasn't like 25 years ago. But now it's definitely, you know, inverting is definitely the weird thing to do.
This is raw.
So I don't want to teach my children wrong, but I also don't want to have the faff of having to invert uninverting all the time. That's what quality parenting looks like in 2020. Oh, that's let's do this. Left side, right? Left side. Did that count? I don't think it did. No, it didn't. Is that? It's the same. It's the same in the diagram, isn't it? Yeah, that's definitely showing him swinging from... Oh, no, no, look. He's definitely approaching the Archvile's left side on that one. Okay, so I did that one wrong. Oh, bugger. Oh! Feels pretty good. Apparently I'm just amazing at this game now. I mean, I'm only playing on normal difficulty. I'll probably just get annoyed and not be able to complete the first level on hard. There's loads of secrets in this room. Yeah, well, I was trying to look at the picture on the other one, and it was very clearly showed him approaching from the monster's right side, so who knows. But no, I think I'll try the other way around next time. Oh, go up here. Oh. Oh, that's where I came in. Okay, so where am I going now? Hopefully this will take us back to the other secret. But it might not. No. Oh, it looks like... Yeah, okay. So we get to that from there. There's some secrets here. Oh, what the hell is this? yeah, fair enough. It's hell. Yep. What the hell is this hell? Oh. Irritating. Irritating level. Like, I don't know, is that the response you should have from a bit of level design? Ugh. Ugh, goddamn. That's where I came in, right? Yep. Okay, I'm back to where I started. Brilliant. There's an extra life flowing in there. Okay, so I'm just jumping, hopping, and hopping back to there? Yeah, looks like it. I don't think the fire that those things put out is strong enough to worry about, really. No, not really. I mean, well, I mean that's just the, you know, the general like. I don't think. Sorry, so I don't think it's irritating in a good way, but that's just why is there all this platforming in this game? I don't get it. The platforming's annoying and boring, and the combats are fantastic and exciting. I don't really understand why there's platforming. That's careless.
The makers and the Sentinel priests who discovered and unlocked the true power of the essence. They combined Sentinel and Hell energies together, refined these, and created Argent. With it they did wondrous things. Saved worlds from extinction, healed the sick, and gave infinite power to those worthy of it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this level so much more because there's like storytelling and stuff going on. It's great. What am I supposed to? Oh yeah, back glory kill. So, like that's gives me no indication of what I'm supposed to do by tracking that achievement. That's it. Right. There's secrets everywhere.
This facility was built in secret. The Night Sentinels never knew of its existence.
What? How?
Built by Sentinel slaves, for a maker can never set foot in Hell, nor demon in Erda. Argent D'Nur served a grave.
Oh, I've got right. I see. I've got the I've got all these suit powers now, so it's showing me the question marks on the map where there is a thing. So that's not telling me it's a secret. It's just telling me it's a pickup. So it looks like I need to go back. Oh, that's. Nope, nope. Where's the damn door? God damn it. So actually, I don't need those anymore, I don't think, because I have everything. Like, I bought every suit power now, so there's no reason to have any more suit points. I guess. That's... Yeah, there's a... Oh, nuts. There's an interesting sort of philosophy there of whether, you know, it isn't a given that the number of points available in the game should exactly match the number of upgrades there are to buy. I can see arguments both ways. It's going... So it looks like we missed a whole bit down there. What the hell? Let's see what's going on with all this crap. Why is that not working? Maybe there's a... Ah, there we go.
This machine was not made without Hell's knowledge. A deal was struck with the Dark Lord in return for access to more worlds for Hell to devour. Makers siphon energy from the damned. It is an unholy union and cannot stand any longer.
So I'm hoping for a whole level that looks like this, and then we smash it to bits. So the makers are heaven, I guess, in this cosmology. And then obviously hell is hell, but then where do the Sentinels fit in? Not clear. I'd be very, very angry and disappointed if this game ends with you going through the portal to the Maker Dimension, but then not actually going to the Maker Dimension. Right? I know, right? Like, that's one of the things that annoyed me so much about Half-Life 2, since I haven't yet finished complaining about Half-Life 2, apparently. Like, you spend your entire time on the way somewhere, and then you never actually go there. Yeah. Oh, I should probably have sworded him with my sword. That would have been a good idea. Well, yeah, absolutely. But then, like in that sense, like the RuneScape quest lines were certainly set up with the intention to go somewhere. But then you know my feeling on that, right? Like, I find it. I don't know. Like, I don't blame the developers for doing it, for like essentially for promising something they had no ability to deliver, right? I don't blame the developers for doing that because they were under the impression that they would be able to deliver it. That was just the way things were done. I think perhaps they could have been a little less ambitious in their plans, but you know, they were trying to make cool content within the paradigm that they were developing, and players responded very positively to it. But you know, my point is more like now when it's clear, you know, in retrospect, it was obvious those things were never going to happen, so we shouldn't make the same mistake again, more so than like. But yeah, maybe not everyone could have promised a city. That would be good. It wasn't just cities all the way down. This is weird. Like this thing. Oh, that's the game Bayonetta. That has a superb heaven aesthetic. I love that. Bayonetta's take on heaven is that the. Now, what are they now? I thought it was a Kami thing, but apparently it's a. Who did Princess Mononoke? There's like one where there's like Japanese nature spirits. I've not seen it, but I've been told about it. And the Japanese nature spirits have like a really weird sort of look. How am I getting up there? Is it Miyazaki? Is that what that has like weird nature spirits? And so, but no. So the ones, and I thought that was a traditional Japanese aesthetic, but apparently not. But it's how there's a magic, you know, Kamigawa, the magic expansion. That's how the Japanese spirits look in that. So maybe that's just a Miyazaki thing. Anyway, so the angels, sorry, in Bayonetta are those kind of creatures, but encased in like white statues. So they look very grand and impressive, but then when you fight them, bits of them get chipped away, and they become monstrous underneath, which looks absolutely fantastic. And I've never seen anything else that works quite like it. And it make like I've written all sorts of none of it's in RuneScape, but I've written all sorts of things about like trying to sort of recapture that idea. Because so even Bayonetta 2 doesn't seem to get that aesthetic, because in Bayonetta 2 you're primarily fighting demons, and the demons don't have the same aesthetic. They just look like demons. There's nothing particularly interesting about those demons. Okay, am I? Oh, there's more of these things. Oh. Good cutscene, guys. See you, Patrick. Good luck with your exam. I've got so much health now. Oh, that's good. Oh no! Sword charge, and I don't need it. Oh, it's bad. It feels bad. What? I think I need to hit it with the sword. No, I don't.
Get to the transmitter tower. If you can destroy it, the unrefined energy should be able to propel you into their world.
That sounds fun. Oh,
Oh,
hello. Oh yeah, we never did get to do the battlesuit thing, did we? Oh, hello. What? What? Where's the glory kill? Damn. Oh, hello. Is that a tyrant? No, I don't think it is. Oh. That's apparently happened. That's... Any health around here? No. Oh yeah, I was supposed to be killing them with this thing. I love this achievement gameplay. Like where I'm constantly it keeps all the situations interesting because I'm constantly trying to accomplish something other than just survive. At the same time, though, it is detracting a little from the sort of pure killing quality of these levels, which is a shame. Because I'm faffing about switching between weapons and stuff. I have a feeling that like a New Game Plus Oh, yeah, no, I got one absolutely as soon as I started streaming, the very first time I got one. Like a spam bot, and then I banned it, and then I haven't seen another one since. We're in the big leagues now. Oh, I could buy followers. That sounds like a really bad deal. Why would I want that?
You must break the chains and destroy the Argent transmitter, then ride the energy flow
Ah, but with 50 followers I can do karaoke. Don't think it's worth buying though. It doesn't seem like a very good idea. Oh, there's a secret. What? What's that? Oh. I mean, it's no... Like, Serious Sam and Painkiller were both fantastic for having absolutely enormous bosses. I think it's unfair to call it a cop-out, right? Because it's not what the game is offering. But at the same time, like, if you're not going to have giant bosses in a genre which is well known for having giant bosses, maybe don't put giant monsters in your world. Because then it's kind of disappointing that you don't get to fight them. Like, no one made them put the Titans in there and then create the complaint.
God is awakening the icon of sin. We must hurry.
So that still hasn't opened that secret. How do we open the secret? It's like the last secret in the game, we've got to get it. Does it go? It opens. It goes all the way back there, so it's possible there's a side way in. Assuming. Excuse me. I'm assuming this is the way to the final boss fight. Oh, is it possible that it's... Yep. Replaying the levels with cheat codes to get the achievements kind of sounds fun, but also kind of sounds like cheating. Like, it doesn't sound like a very... You know, like if there was a combat encounter I couldn't get. That can often be a problem with achievements, right? Like, you know, you're allowed to go and retry the challenge later with bigger guns, which means that you know, in a very meaningful sense, didn't learn it legitimately. Don't do any of the challenges. No. Those are for batteries. Yeah, those are for Sentinel batteries. But I only need, I think, I can only spend 2 more Sentinel batteries in the game. I don't think there's any way to spend any of the rest. I should really watch Miyazaki. I've seen Ponyo. That's the only one I've seen. Which apparently is the sort of oddest. But least good. Alright, here we go. Herdag. Hoping for fight that giant GLaDOS thing from earlier. Oh, it's a bit overworked, you know. It could be smoother, flatter. It looks a bit you know, it's not very angel-y. It's a bit it looks very Geiger-esque, right? It looks a little bit like the interior of the Nostromo, which is intended to look very grungy and worked rather than perfect, because this is heaven, right? Or at least that seems to be what it's trying to tell me. And for heaven, it looks kind of grungy. I like these sort of torso things, whatever those are supposed to be. That's a little bit better.
Not quickly. The Khan Maker is nearby. We must stop her before she completes the ritual and gains full control over the icon of sin.
Yeah, and I like the halo. That's great. So it's trying to create the impression, I think, that Samuel Hayden is a maker. I think that's what it's trying to tell me. That Samuel Hayden was a robot who was the CEO of UAC in the previous game. I'm sure this is... I mean, it's kind of meaningless to classify things as retcons or not, right? But, like, this is not consistent with the previous story. Because in the previous story, the UAC are foolishly extracting Argent energy from Hell, and that's the whole point. And that sort of made sense as a story of sort of, you know, corporate foolishness and a sort of climate change analog. Oh no, I started that level with 2 sword energy. Yeah, no, which is how many I ended the previous one with. And it's in, and the whole point was that the Argent energy was coming from hell, and now they're saying, oh no, actually, the Argent energy is made from the souls of dead humans, and it's being, sorry, it's made from the souls of dead humans funneled through heaven. Oh, isn't that controversial? Heaven is evil, which is not the events of the previous game. To sort of technically work, you know, like there's nothing technically wrong with the logic of what happened, but the thematic, you know, meaning of it all is completely different, and not in a exciting, radical new way that causes you to reevaluate it, but more in a like, what? Why was Earth stealing energy from heaven, and the CEO of the corporation that was doing it was an angel? What? Really? Very odd. No. No. Ah, that way probably. Seems impractical, to be honest. Yeah, I like it, but it's a bit... You know, like if you told me this was just a human moon base, I'd be like, yeah, I guess, sure. It's not quite magnificent enough. It's not giving me a sense of awe and grandeur. I'm hoping there's a new enemy type, which is just, oh yeah, what are the chances? Acquire a collectible toy, kill 12 demons in midair, and kill 5 Maker drones with precision bolt headshots. Oh yeah, we fought Maker drones in that Slayer challenge I couldn't do, but there weren't any. Which one's precision bolt? Oh yeah, that's the that's this one. Yeah, in that combat challenge we fought Maker drones, which I guess was kind of a spoiler, sort of. Kill 12 demons while in mid-air. Right, hang on, I know how to deal with this. Okay, so we're going to perform glory kills faster, and we're going to take hold mouse 2 in mid-air to temporarily slow down time. Yeah, that should help. What? That's definitely not how that should work. They put that death field slightly too high. How does that help? Oh, okay. Music's pretty good. Not like awe-angely. It's clearly sort of dark and mysterious rather than It's not trying to fool me into thinking that this is a nice place only for it to turn out to be a horrible place, I guess. This looks almost cyberpunk-y. Like dystopian, right? Like I'm going... This is like the outside the CEO's apartment building in more or less any cyberpunk.
Welcome, Seraphim.
Oh, I'm a Seraphim now. Yeah, look, boss.
You cannot stop the procession.
So you try.
We will not be able to control it! No!
I like those skull face guys, those are the cool ones. I want to fight them. Oh. Oh, that's bad. Nah, it's fine. We just leave now, we just wreck heaven, right? Just leave and do it. No reason to stay. Oh yeah, we need to leave, don't we? The Maker Theory. Oh yeah, it told me this, didn't it? Its head is a weak point. Okay, they're not too hard to kill. The ammo goes fast. Hi, buddy. Oh, what the Ah. Oh. Nuts. I've got all the wrong weapon selected. Teach me, right? Trying to do something fancy. I thought there was another Maker drone somewhere. Oh, yeah, there it is. Ah. Terrible. Ah. Oh, they home! Oh, that's why I've been having so much trouble dodging them. Well, that's just cheap. Ah. Hey, home! What's slowing down time? Is that the rune? Oh, is it when I... Oh! Whenever I do that, it slows down time. What? That's really funny, but really confusing. Do you think I can switch weapon? Don't know. I'm not like aware enough in combat to be able to get headshots on these guys mid-combat. When I'm being shot at by everything else. Maybe like that? No. I mean, having sung the praises of mouse look for aiming, I've never been particularly good at it. Like, I'm okay, but those people who can just like and shoot something, I've never been even close to. Ah! That was a rocket launcher. Okay, I think that could have worked. I die. We're in heaven now. Just chilling in heaven, you know, like you do. Oh, bugger. Oh! It's kind of grim, to be honest. I don't know why it's full of demons. Didn't they say demons can't come here? I thought they specifically said. Oh no, they said Argent and humans have never been here. They didn't say that demons have never been here. I mean, honestly, those things don't seem very threatening. Yeah, they're not a serious threat. I mean, there's an achievement for headshotting them, but I'm very amused by this slow motion shotgun thing. It's really confusing. try this headshot. Did that work? No, it didn't. Okay, it's these snaky motherfuckers that are giving me so much trouble. Not much to heal off, yeah. Oh, hello. Oh, those count as mid-air kills. Okay, that's good. That's a lot easier than what I was intending to do. Yeah, that counts as a head cut. I have a rune equipped that makes me slow-mo whenever I'm in mid-air holding right button. And that, using the chain on the shotgun, counts as being in mid-air holding the right button. Wait, I wasn't listening at all to what that guy was just saying. I assume he said, if we don't stop it, it's going to go and kill everyone on Earth or something like that. Because that gives us a reason to care. Yeah, I don't feel like the visual aesthetics. I mean, maybe this is a case of that irritating thing players do, where they complain when something doesn't fit their expectations, right? So maybe this is just me doing that. But I feel like the story they want to be telling is one where, like, heaven is supposed to be a nice place, but the decisions of the Khan Maker, the considered decisions of the Khan Maker have corrupted it. Their decision to use this awful hell energy to do their good, and I don't get that feeling from this environment. This just looks like a horrible place anyway. It doesn't look like a nice place that's been corrupted. Yeah, I mean, I guess the correct way to give that feedback is to say the impression if this was in a professional context, I would say not it's wrong, because that's a stupid thing to say, but rather the impression it is creating on me is this. Is that the impression you wanted to create? Because that's what I'm getting. Are you trying to create the impression that the makers are awful, also just awful people, and everyone in this universe is awful and no one is good ever under any circumstances? Because if so, that's kind of the impression I'm getting, yeah. That I've come to heaven and heaven sucks. Which it might well be, in which case, fair enough, good job. Oh, there's a secret over there somewhere. Yeah, there is. That's not a collectible toy. Yeah. I mean, my opinion, as opposed to like my attempting to sound professional version, is, I mean, this is essentially the same conceit as Bayonetta in terms of like the complicated relationship between heaven and hell and who's the goodie and who's the baddie, which has itself kind of become a slightly trite trope these days, but I don't mind it. It's a trope I like. And I think Bayonetta's take on heaven, on the confusing nature of whether heaven is a good place or not, I found far more effective. I think Bayonetta does a really good job of sort of keeping you guessing about what's actually going on and who the real baddies are, which I found really interesting and exciting. I mean, it's also a game with terrible writing and terrible plot, but in the sense of, like, you know, that specific question. 75 precision bolt headshot kills. Did they go pop? Is that what they were doing? I think they were popping. There's a whole load of achievements I should be trying to get on these. Man, never going to get all these, am I? Don't need to track that one. Got 50. Oh, I'm never getting this. I see why there's a thing to allow you to skip these now. Ah, hello. Well, this has put me to the load before the zombies. This is just achievement farming heaven right now. Yep. What else? Probably shouldn't. Probably shouldn't. Kill 3 enemies 15 times with a destroy blade. That's what I want to do. Which one's the destroy blade? This one. Hey guys. I mean, that is... It's charging quite slowly. Oh, is that it? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good. The demons are organic and the heaven is mechanical is a really good contrast. It puts the mechanical demons in a different context as well, although the mechanical look there was very different. Did I miss an extra life? Oh, it's a bit too far back. I don't think... It doesn't seem to really treat extra lives as secrets, I don't think. Or sometimes they're in secrets. But I don't think the extra lives themselves are secrets. Alright, what am I doing here? Going across there. Anything else to pick up? Ah, an optional. Optional combat, right. Oh, the slow glory kills. No, and my mouse. That was close. I mean, I guess that is interesting. I've seen that plot, the idea that souls are valuable only because they're a power source. I've seen done quite a few times. So, no, I mean, do I know you, Bob the Builder, under a different name? It's definitely been better. The storytelling, at least in the previous level. This one hasn't really had anything, but the previous level had quite a lot of voiceover that was explaining what was going on and like telling me about stuff while I was wandering around, which is a huge improvement on the storytelling of the game that up until that point. And if the whole game had been done in that way, like that weird level where we were fighting, what was it called? The Super Gore Nest. Like, they could have had, like, you know, literally like 4 sentences of dialogue during that level that explained to us what a Gore Nest was and what it was for and why we should care. That would have hugely improved that level. For the sake of, like, 4 sentences, you know? That's what's weird about it. Oh, right, okay, so other people have said the last level's not great. That's interesting. I mean, the Icon of Sin is presumably the final boss, and presumably we're going to kill him before we reach the end of this level. Oh yeah, I was saying I'd be very disappointed if we didn't actually get to go to heaven, and we did, so props there. Like, it didn't set up like a whole second game and then not deliver it to us. Oh, so I don't know very much about action game design. I'm much more an RPG and strategy game designer. But that is one thing I've picked up. Oh, there's an art file. I'll finish that thought in a moment. Do you think there's any health here? Something I've noticed that FPS RPGs that aren't made by like action game companies do is the enemies move around too much. Whereas in an action, if you watch the movements of these enemies, I think the designers of these games realise that, you know, how the enemy moves is as much a part of the gameplay as anything else.